There's something about just waking up in the morning, unplugging your car because it was charged the night before, and just unplugging and just being on your way with basically a full tank of gas or a full battery. So you don't have to go to any gas station, you don't have to go anywhere and charge, you just be on your way, and then you can just go back home later and charge up again. If you don't own an electric car, you don't really know what this feels like, and you think that you have to go somewhere to charge, but if you can get a setup where you just have to charge at your home base, it's probably the best setup for an electric car. And you don't necessarily know that feeling unless you own an electric car, because you think you have to charge somewhere. Unless you're going on road trips, of course. But yeah, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're gonna be going from downtown Los Angeles down to Irvine. Again, we're gonna see how Autopilot does with the latest update in traffic, in morning rush hour traffic in the Los Angeles area. So welcome back to the channel and let's get into it. Definitely a super bright day. We're already on the highway already, so let's go ahead and throw it into Autopilot. I'm gonna change my nav so we can see a little bit better of the direction we're going. A little bit of braking right there. This truck decided to come into our lane at probably the last second from that on-ramp, and Tesla detected it, and now it braked a little bit to pace the speed behind it. But we're kind of going pretty slow right here, going about 40 miles an hour on a 56. I should go into the left lane, but at the same time, I know Tesla's not gonna like that because this lane goes to the exit coming up on the right that we need to get on, so Tesla's just gonna wanna come back into this lane. We're definitely a pretty far distant behind this truck now. This is at least like 3 or 4 car lengths, even though my follow car length is set to 1. Going about 48 miles an hour, still just pacing this truck, giving it a lot of room, but now it looks like we're closing the gap just a little bit. Thanks for watching another video, guys. If you're new here, my name is Dennis. I have a Tesla Model 3 and a Nissan GT-R, and I make videos about my experience. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. My tire pressure, if you saw in some of my older videos, my tire pressure light was turned on my driver's side front left tire. So I added some air, so now it's actually higher PSI. It's at a higher PSI than some of these other tires at 46, which is a little bit too high. So I do need to release some of the air from that tire when we get to our destination. Autopilot is just slowly pacing this car, and of course now the truck just wants to get out of this lane. I wonder if there's a reason why they're driving slow, because they have a bunch of stuff in their bed, I guess. Autopilot is now increasing speed a little bit. Looks like I forgot my sunglasses in my other car, so we have to suffer with this bright sign along with Autopilot. Felt like Autopilot was glitching a little bit. I was increasing speed with the right scroll wheel, but it wasn't detecting it, and then finally at the last second it decided to increase speed, I guess, to what I wanted it to. That was weird. Now it seems to be working a lot better. I guess it was thinking a lot of different things, and now it's fine. I've set the cruise control to 75, and then it just decreased it down to 56 again. I wonder if there's something wrong with my settings. I increased it back up to 71. We'll keep an eye on that, because I literally just set it up to 75 miles an hour, and then it threw it back down to 55. I guess depending on the road it was. And now it looks like it just set it down to 71. So I'm gonna go into my Autopilot settings to see what's going on. Yeah, set speed to current speed. Looks like everything is fine here. Relative, absolute. Maybe I'll just set it to, no, I don't want, I've always set it to relative. Looks like my settings haven't been changed. I swear I used to have that setting on for the exit passing lane. I used to have it to yes instead of no. All right, well, let's just keep an eye on it. Autopilot is just following this car in front of us. We're going about 57 miles an hour. Cruise control speed setting is set to 71. Autopilot wants to get into the left lane. There's no one in that lane, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it the confirmation, and it did it pretty easily. Our lane change wants to get into the left lane again. I'm gonna give Tesla the go-ahead, and did it pretty easily again. I'm gonna increase speed to 76 miles an hour to close this gap in front of us. It's a pretty bright day today. Clear skies, no cloud in the sky, 73 degrees out. It's definitely getting hotter in LA already. But the temperature shouldn't affect the Tesla Autopilot system, but definitely this bright sun facing directly at the Tesla Autopilot and also facing directly at the road and then back at us. I'm hearing some clunking somewhere. I wonder if it's under my car or, ooh, some heavy braking from Tesla right there. Tesla didn't freak out there, but it looks like that truck in front of this car in front of us went into our lane and then it reacted pretty quickly. So it probably freaked out a little late, because hopefully as a human driver you could see that coming on early on, that the truck was coming into that lane and the car in front of us would brake. But Tesla, because it can only detect a couple cars in front of us, braked pretty heavily there to the car in front of us, but it reacted quickly. Tesla wants to get into the left lane right now, but there is a car right here, and we're behind a truck, which isn't necessarily the best, but Tesla looks like it just canceled the auto lane change, and now it wants me to appease the nag timer. A little bit of braking right here because Tesla is braking to the truck in front of us. Looks like traffic is pretty flowing though, and this truck is just going a little bit slow. Tesla wants to get to the right of it. See if Tesla can make this auto lane change. Just gave it the confirmation, and pretty good. Of course, there's actually a Tesla in front of the truck, which is actually going slower than, which is causing the truck to go slow as well. There's a lot going on in this area right now. There's a truck coming in on our right side. The Tesla is kind of pacing that car in front of it, so I bet it's also an autopilot, just cruising along slowly. We're braking a little bit because this Kia in front of us, or cars in front of us, is braking. Looks like we chose the wrong lane to go into, and now Tesla wants to go back into the left lane. So let's go ahead and give it that auto lane change. And it was good to go. Now we're closing this gap in front of this truck. I imagine Tesla's going to want to lane change to the right, but we might not. We might just stay in this lane. The cars in the left lane are pretty much packed, so they're all going pretty quickly, but packed together. Don't like necessarily being behind this truck, so if I was driving, I'd probably pull to the right just so I'm not behind the truck and no rocks can fling up and hit the windshield, which would really suck. Auto lane change once again to the left lane, so let's go ahead and give it that confirmation. It hasn't made the left lane change just yet. I guess it just canceled my left lane change, which is kind of weird. Let's go ahead and give it again. Auto lane change is moving pretty flawlessly there, so pretty quickly into that lane. There was a car, but it was a couple car lengths back. Now Tesla Autopilot is not accepting my scroll wheel as a nag timer. I'm going to throw it out of Autopilot and throw it back into Autopilot. We're going to increase speed back to 75 miles an hour, and we should close this gap in front of us. Tesla wants to get into the right lane using the auto lane change, but I don't think we necessarily need to. It looks like it wants to get out of the right lane because it wants to get out of the passing lane. But it does look like the right lane is going a little bit faster, so let's go ahead and give it that auto lane change. There's a car coming up pretty quickly now. So it looks like a couple cars are now coming into this right lane. Made that right lane change pretty quickly, but that car behind us was going pretty fast, and so that car had to slow down because we kind of essentially cut them off. This car is going pretty slow in the left lane, so just causing all the slow traffic. So we're going to pass it on the right, which is actually illegal, I guess. Now Tesla's increasing speed to our 77 mile per hour setting. Tesla wants to get into the right lane again using the auto lane change. Let's go ahead and give it that confirmation, and we did it pretty smoothly. A little bit of shadow braking because it's, or a little bit of pump braking because it's detecting that these cars in the left lane are going a little bit slower. You can see right here, it thinks that lane is going slower because of that car in front of us. So it's not trying to speed up too much to pass the car on the right. Now it's just hanging in the blind spot of the car to the left, which is not necessarily the best move for a driver to be in, but looks like it slowed down a little bit, or the X5 or the SUV sped up a little bit, but now it looks like it's going to pass it on the right. Now Tesla Autopilot once again to the left lane, and whoa, okay. It did not like this left lane change, and now it wants to do it again. It's like freaking out a lot. It saw that this X5 was speeding up a little bit. I guess it detected it early on, but then It went to the lane change, it went to the lane and then got out of the lane, and then it realized the X5 was coming up, and then it decided, nah, I'm not gonna go into that lane. And then at the end, after the X5 passed it, then it went into the lane after. So we're now entering the construction area zone where Tesla has glitched in the past. Today is definitely not a good condition day because it's super bright out and the sun is facing directly at the cameras. We just entered the zone. You can see some of the lane markings are pretty bad today. I don't even know which lane we're supposed to be in. Tesla is somehow being able to navigate this pretty well. I can barely see the lane markings on the left and the right, but you can see the concrete lines are going to the left there. But Tesla is following this car in front of us and doing a pretty good job. Typically, we're in the left lane in this construction area zone when it's a little bit easier because there's a concrete wall on the left side blocking us from going to the left, and then of course there's usually cars on the right side. But that time there wasn't necessarily cars on the left or right, and it was trying to figure out where the lane is, and it did it pretty well, I would say. A little bit hesitant. If you were a new Tesla driver in that area, you would probably be a little bit freaked out, but I was kind of understood what Tesla was trying to do at the time, just jiggling back and forth within the lane, and it followed the car in front of us pretty well. Tesla now wants to do an auto lane change in the construction area zone, so let's go ahead and see if it can do it. There's concrete barriers on the left side, so it's probably a little bit easier for it to stay within the lane. And now we're increasing speed now because there's not a car in front of us. So Tesla was able to do that construction area zone pretty well, even though we're in a pretty confusing lane with not too many lane markers on the left or right. All right, so we've left the construction area zone, and there really shouldn't be any more traffic after this. Maybe in the Irvine area, but this is where I'm going to go ahead and end it, guys. Thanks for watching another video. Please hit that like if you enjoyed it, and comment below if you have any questions on the Tesla Autopilot system or if on your experiences with the newest update. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. All right, guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.